Hi and welcome back. This is going to be the last video in my Learning the Go programming language series. In the last video, um, we added the feature for our website status checking program here so that it would continuously check sites and not just check the site once. But we realized we wanted to add some kind of delay in pinging websites to check their status if it's up or not, so that we're not constantly spamming them. So what we're going to do to add time delay is use use a function in the time package. So we'll look at that really quickly. So if you go over to golang.org/package/time, actually let's just go to Golang real quick. So just go to golang.org and I'll show you guys how to get there. You just click on packages, like before in the previous videos. You scroll all the way down for time, and then what we are looking for is a function called, not second, sleep. So we want a function called sleep. Um, Trying to find it here. Sorry. All right, let's just do a quick search here on the file. Right. Oh, it's the first one. Okay. So this is what we're looking for here. So if you look at the documentation here for the sleep function, it takes a parameter of type duration, and what it says here is that sleep pauses the current go routine for at least the duration d, a negative zero or zero duration cause sleep to return immediately. So we're going to use this function to cause our go routine to pause for an X amount of time before it executes again to ping the site. Sorry, I'm opening drinks here. So now you might be wondering what this D duration type is. So we can click on that. And as you can see, duration is a type that is basically a 64-bit integer. So basically you could pass in any 64-bit integer for this duration type. So now let's go back really quick. And then also, if you see here, go in the time package, it has constants, one of which is second. So we can use this time.second in the time package to represent 1 second. And we could pass that into the sleep function for the duration parameter. So as a better example, let's hop into our code here in Visual Studio. And also for this for loop here, I'm not a huge fan of it, only because it's not very clear to, say, another engineer who looks at your code on what exactly this for loop is doing. So clean it up, we're going to do for L and then in range of C. So we've seen the syntax similarly before, but basically as long as C is getting stuff, strings returned to it through this channel, the for loop continues. So it'll do the same thing, but just it's more readable if another developer just came by and looked at your code. So it's equivalent. And now here, now we have to figure out where we want to add this delay for the time. We don't want to add it before our function call here, because what happens is that you'll get something back, but then you have to wait 5 seconds before you call the next function. And what happens is it just kind of stockpiles up, and like it just backs up basically. So that's what you don't want to do is add the time before the function call. So you wouldn't want to add it here. So what we want to do is add it inside the function here. It has to be executed within the function here, that time delay sometime. So what we could do is probably put it right before this line, or I mean not right before this line, right at the end here. So after it checks the link, we wait, and then it returns it through, and then it gets called again. But the problem with that, adding the time delay within this function, is it'll work, but it's not very clean. In that, when we call the check link function, we expect it to go check the link right now. We don't want a delay. Like, this function is not called check link with delay. It's called check link. So if we call this, we want to check it now. So adding the delay inside this function is not very clean code. It's not what someone would expect if someone were to use your function. So what we are going to do is use something called a function literal in Go, and in other languages, you might have heard anonymous functions. So we're going to put a function literal here, and like I said, it might be called an anonymous function in other programming languages, or lambdas too. So to create a anonymous function, let me just delete that. So we're still going to spawn a Go routine every time we call our anonymous function. So keep the Go there. We just write func, and then the arguments, the parameters for this, and then semicolon, and then what we want to do inside this function. So we want to put our time delay here before the function call. So we use the time package, and we're going to use the sleep function inside that package. So we do time.sleep, and like I showed you, there's constants in this time package per second. So we could use time.second. This represents 1 second. So let's delay it for 5 seconds. So to do that, you just do 5 times time.second. So if you want 10 seconds, you just multiply with 10. But we'll just do 5. So there's that. So we wait 5 seconds, and then we call the checklink function, and checklink function takes a string, we'll call link, and it takes the channel C. Now, this link is going to be gotten from this parameter here. So let me add a parameter here called link, and it'll be of type string. And now this is our function literal, but now to execute the function, we need to put we need to put parentheses here and then pass in L. So if I didn't have this, it would just be writing the function literal. We would not be executing it. So to execute it, we need to do this. So basically, we're saying execute this function literal here, passing in L, which is a string, as the argument for this parameter here. So now we should be good. There should be delay, which shouldn't be all spammy, and it should work just as before. So let's give it a try. Let's save it, and there's no errors or anything, so that's good. All right, so let's cd into the correct directory. Documents. Let go run main.go, and as you can see, it's checking the sites. It's waiting for about 5 seconds, and then checks again. Waits about 5 seconds, and it checks again. And as you can see, all the sites are pretty much different. And as you can see, it starts to become a certain pattern of what sites are getting returned, so it's not so random. So there we have it. We added our delay. This is pretty much the last video for the Learning Go programming language series. At this point, you should be somewhat comfortable to be able to use Go for whatever you need and look up what you need to know if you don't. So thanks for watching all my videos so far, and have a good one. Bye.